All right. Guess what? It is a best of 3 with a very early pool to kick it off. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Corsair Cup. I am, of course, Rifkin, casting with Zombie Grub. And in the bottom right side of Prayon Terraces, we've got the early poolin', no gas taken, Blue Zerg, Matiz.
In the top left, as the red Protoss, he is Liquid MaNa.
Very important to note that he is scouting. This is not something that's weird and different, and MaNa has always very consistently been a scouter when it comes to us casting him, so very important that he gets this scout, mostly because of the way he set up his building on the other side of the map. We talked about this a little bit, how there are some players who tend to build a little bit closer to their mineral lines, and really nice SimCity happens over here, and these sort of early pools aren't an issue. But the fact that MaNa has built at his ramp does make it an issue. He's going to have to keep building, keep layering, and hopefully not get killed by these lings before he's got units on the field.
Hopefully. So there's the upside is that it is in a shorter wall. Like if you had done this on Lairlac, which some people do, including MaNa, that's at least one more like huge grid space to cover and recover as the walls break down. Here, the pylon should probably be the first thing that goes down, but they might just chew away at everything. I mean, the thing is that regardless of if the lings actually break through, it did do something. I mean, it's going to force MaNa to make a Zealot. It forced him to change his build. He was probably going to go for a Nexus after Gateway. That's why he scouted. And there is a chance for Matiz to actually just macro out of this. But, of course, ideally, you're actually going to break through the wall. And there is that pylon being chipped away at.
Yeah, he'll have to put 2 more down behind that, because he can't even come out from the wall to defend it. If he does, then the lings run by, and this becomes a problem for the probes. But I like that MaNa's resolved just to deal with as best he can. Now, unfortunately, again, problem still persists. He can't move through that wall. If you wanted to put this pylon here to fully wall off, then the Zealot could fight, but even then, you don't really want to fight against this many lings. It's going to be bad news bears if you do. So the Adept, absolutely critical, but having lost that pylon has made this tough. It looks like he is resolving to say, screw it, I need to fight, because this other pylon about to break. Overcharge does get popped, however. Mothership Core to the rescue. The timing on that was great. 8 health remain, 2 more hits, and it goes down.
Oh, crap. Yeah, well, the lings stopped targeting that pylon. I mean, sure, there were probably most of them, like, if not all of them, were going to die to the post and overcharge anyways. I think just, like, super quick, and there's a lot of damage. But even 2 lings getting into the main, and that's it, like, not going to do any damage, is still better than what had just happened there with the course just being denied simply straight up. So that's quite unfortunate for Matiz, but he's going to try and macro out of this. He's going to have 2 gold bases to fall back on, but he does have to get this droning in, which MaNa is interrupting just the slightest bit by sending Adepts out.
So, a bit of a troll comment coming out in chat, but I do want to address it because it's actually kind of important to today. For those who missed it yesterday, my internet was cut out halfway through the broadcast, and this was my ISP way of saying, you're way over your limit, you need to deal with it. Now, the problem is, well, we're 20 days into the month, and I'm over my limit already. I technically shouldn't be streaming anymore. I'm not allowed to actually discuss on what happened to resolve it, because I've talked about my ISP before. But the TLDR, guys, is to pay quite a bit of money, it's fixed, and the internet should be good today. So if I disconnect, then it's for a completely unrelated reason. But hopefully, and ideally, I don't disconnect.
Mm-hmm. That would be nice.
Yes.
That would be ideal.
It sucked, too, because of the way we do delay. That one game had, like, the end of it chopped off, which kind of sucked for Vons. I was talking to a nice username about it. Like, how can we get that up on YouTube? So I think he's going to try and, like, record the last bit from just replay silence or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what he said. That's why I gave him the replay. Yeah, it sucked.
He's the sub to the channel. He should have got the replay back anyway.
I don't know. It was right before you sent it out. He probably just didn't remember. Regardless, so the Ling Flood coming in here might just be defensive as he worries that an Adept attack, like a bigger Adept attack, is on the way, but it's actually like an Oracle DS to really worry about. Spore Crawlers are on the way too, but they aren't quite done, and there's actually not one in the main at all. So the Oracle's going to get a couple of kills. Pretty instant drone transfer, though, actually. Just limit it to just 3.
Yeah, nice response out of Matiz. Now, the nice thing is, because he was mining off the gold through this, again, it doesn't really hurt his income that much. Third base also has the gold going, so small drone pull, not too bad. Lots of lings on the field, though, and this is where Prayon Terraces becomes a little bit dangerous for both sides of this equation. On one hand, we're actually seeing not so much lings, but a lot of roaches and ravagers, and just these heavy all-ins on the Zerg players, because they got so much minerals to work with. On the other hand, Protoss have been doing a lot of gateways, and unfortunately MaNa not going that direction may not have what it takes to defend against an all-in that may be on the way.
I mean, the good news is for MaNa that it's not going to be as powerful and all in as it could have been. You know, that early pull did mess with Matiz. Still greater than it messed with MaNa, who just had to defend and eventually got his Nexus. But it's still like, you know, those things are always powerful and Protoss seem to always have trouble. He's going to try and take a third base. He's got his units well protected around the mineral lines. Looks like it's still going to be cancelled, though, and I don't think he wants to burn force fields. Yeah. That full links around.
Cute and cool SimCity with a pylon doesn't have much, but has just a bit to help defend if we really wanted to dedicate to it, but canceling those course of action. Now, with the layer on the way, this does beg the question of what's the next step. So I alluded to this potential all-in, and we're going to see if he starts moving towards just roaches. There's been a lot of ways Zerg players have been playing, but consistently and constantly we've been seeing just the threat of mutas be almost a little too much for any Protoss player. Whether it's 8, whether it's 20, it's just a real pain in the ass. So we really got to keep an eye on whether that Spire is going to come down or not. But it looks like, nope, it's going to be the Hydra Den, and we are going to have this not be super dedicated right away, but with what I imagine is going to be Lurkers following up a Roach, Ravager, Pressure. Could be deadly for MaNa.
Essentially, there's not been much aggression past that early pool, so they're both kind of getting away with a lot of macro here, which should put them, like, set them up well, so it's not just a matter of, like, okay, one person mismacroed and that's why they lost. It's more just who micros better. And actually, in that situation, I'm going to give it to MaNa. MaNa's been pretty good lately. He's showcased some really good stuff. I mean, sure, he got 5-0'd, which sounds really bad. It's even worse than 4-0'd, versus Rogue for the Ting Finals, but I think Rogue is just, you know, one of those great players. Otherwise, in the online cups, the matches before Rogue, MaNa has been looking on the up and up, and even in this matchup, which has been tough for other Protosses. Very tough.
Yeah. The probe transfer gets caught a little bit. Only a couple go down. It's not too bad. Here comes the Immortals. It's like Big Brother.
Yeah.
Save us, Big Brother.
I'll protect you. A couple of force fields burn to try and catch a couple of roaches. Not exactly worth it, but I think the follow-up's going to be a while later, so the energy should be replenished. Oh, actually, I thought he was going to wait for Lurkers, but no, he's got those Hydras rallied forward. They don't even have their upgrades yet, so they'll be finishing as the attack probably happens. And this is something that MaNa, I don't know if he expected that. Okay, that was a little odd. He's actually going to try and drop. That's pretty dangerous. Like, you need everything over here? No? He's banking on his Photon overcharges, his SimCity to help him out. Single Disruptor coming out, too. Oh, save the Stalkers! I suppose.
Unfortunately, it's going to play a little bit against MaNa here, so he can't quite push out to defend, but Disruptor Shot was enough to threaten away. Small attack, a bit of a mismatch. Party of units here is going to be able to shut down this base by the looks of it. Hydras will probably die to the Adepts, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, they will. Well, this is the kind of a one nice thing is that with that ramp, the force fields, a disruptor on top, Matiz really can't push up to the natural. So every time he does, he's about to get sandwiched. So he's being very careful. But MaNa also still has to be
look
careful.
Look at a Bolus strike.
Spare. Another one.
Spare me, say the roaches.
But this is, I think, slowly going. It's with time, it's actually getting better for MaNa. He's getting more harassment done. I think his disruptor count's increasing. The Immortals on the backside are doing a great job whenever the Zerg army, disengages from each other.
Well, hold on, he does get broken at the natural base. These disruptors under fire. They're off of cooldown, but they can't just sit there and shoot, unfortunately, because if they do, then they'll get killed before the shot goes off. But
oh shit!
Bowls that strike we were talking about before. He's going to lose the disruptors, but holds the location. Reinforcement's been stifled, and of course, as you pointed out, harassment's been going on behind this. Some more depth kills going down. These guys have killed a queen, they've killed a couple of hydras, some drones. Not too bad. And MaNa's army is starting to look better and better.
Yeah, it is. I like MaNa's army a lot better right now. And actually, Matiz, a lot of damage he took, just taps out.
Yeah, unfortunately for Matiz, a lot of this kind of back end of his pool just not working out for him, really. It did set him off behind from the get-go. MaNa, perhaps a little bit of panic, but honestly nothing too big. Either way, it's going to be Matiz's map pick.
Okay, message him.
So, a small side note I would like to remind everybody about, and I bring this up in hopes that maybe somebody watching is friends of a player or has played themselves, whatever the case may be. But we do have a thing with BaseTradeTV. There's the rules. Everyone brings it up, and it's like, oh, why do they have rules? It's bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But part of our rules is players have to actually claim their prize pools. I do my best to reach out to them And so, for example, let's say you won $10 in a BaseTradeTV tournament. You have to actually reach out to us to get the money if I haven't contacted you. I do my best, though. People will sometimes just log off or go to a ladder game or forget straight up, and that's fine. But I do want to remind everybody, we actually have a rules section on the BaseTradeTV website outlining all of this, and to compete in our cups, people have to adhere to them, and one of those regarding payment is they really got to contact us within 3 days. So if you know a friend... Or is it 4 days? I don't remember our timeline. But the point is, if you know a friend who's ever missed payments... Like, I've done my best to make sure everyone's been paid for every cup we've ever done. But if you know anyone who's ever missed payment for these cups, I bring this up because sleep, there's a topic here with sleep. But if you've ever missed a payment or you know someone who's missed a payment, please have them contact us so we can get them paid out ASAP. I bring this up because Sleep had actually logged off last time when I messaged him, and he was mentioning to, I guess, Olivia that he's missing payment from the last Corsair Cup, which he won $10 for. And it's not quite outside the expiry date yet, but the problem still is he still hasn't given any payment information, even despite asking. So, again, if you are somebody or you know somebody who ever misses payment stuff for BaseTradeTV, there's no shady shit going on. I want to make that very public. It's a matter of communication, and we're sick of like having to hold prize money for like months and years in some cases for some players, and that's just that. As of like 2 months ago, that stopped. So for those who haven't seen our actual rule list on the set website, one of them is players do need to actually contact us for their payouts.
It is ideal. Matiz picks Orbital, by the way.
Cool. Yep, in the lobby. Ready when they are.
Wait for him.
Game 2 of the best of 3.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and again, just a reminder, because people are bringing it up in chat, MaNa's streaming. By all means, check out his stream. Just don't bring spoilers back to this one. That's all we ask. We'll see you guys in a sec. So, informed, by the way, Raynor is being an ultra badass today. Apparently, he's been playing in the Gauntlet qualifiers as well, same time.
Oh.
So he's kicking ass not just here, but also there type thing. At any rate, guys, welcome back. We are getting into game number 2 in this best of 3. Spawning in the bottom left side of Orbital Shipyard, it's going to be the Red Protoss player, Team Liquid's MaNa.
In the top right, as the blue Zerg, he is Matiz.
Alright, so Matiz, it's hard to judge him off that first game. You know, we saw a little bit of cheese, it didn't work out for him. In a situation where A, it almost did, and B, a lot of other players panic. But maybe we'll see a more standard, maybe a little bit stronger gameplay. His follow-through wasn't too bad, and I actually liked that he didn't try to do something like Muta's on a gold-based map, where your best friend are, you know, that extra mineral income, getting roaches and such sooner. MaNa was just, I think, really far ahead from the pool opening, not working, on top of the fact that he just macroed really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if that's not an early pool, if that's, you know, 2-hatch before pool, you know, something extremely greedy like that, a push of Roach Hydras is actually probably, like, not twice the size, maybe something close to it, just, like, a lot stronger or a little bit sooner, and that's something that the Protosses are having trouble with. Any type of Zerg all-in it seems to be very problematic, but MaNa, even against the perfect build, the guys who do go for the greed and get away with it, he's been performing really well. It's like the best thing for MaNa right now is his calm head during these engagements, whereas, you know, any other Protoss, you on ladder, for instance, you would just be like, oh shit, I don't know what I'm doing, and then you would lose everything as you fumble around. MaNa showcased it last game. He had units in the correct position. Okay, eventually his natural got broken, but even then he kept a cool head and got that Disruptor's like last shot off before he died. That was pretty cool, and I just feel good for MaNa in tournaments recently.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, because there's this aspect where I think every player, like whether you're a Twitch chat user to a Grandmaster, like you can kind of do this level of backseat game where you know exactly what could, should, and would have been done, right? But executing it's always a little bit difficult, and we do see great players kind of mess up simple things. Again, referring to the walling or whatever the reactions they end up going for. So it is good to see MaNa like very consistently, whether it's building pylons to continue his wall or just playing well. It's good to see him in such good shape recently.
Yep. Yeah. Well, he's going to start this one off with a Stargate opener too. I mean, that Stargate opener last game didn't really do a whole lot, but I mean, it's kept tabs on the Zerg. It's did a little bit of scouting. It was available in case Matiz had tried to throw in a curveball with Mutas. You know, it's available to go back into Phoenix. But I was actually going to start this one off with the Phoenix and not go for that Oracle, which ended up getting like 7-8 kills, something like that last game.
It started slow, but it picked up. Yeah, the drone pull initially was pretty good. It was the second round that got most of the kills.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix going to take out the Overlords. This is going to cut out scouting, not before, of course, realizing, oh, okay, he's got air, but I don't know. Phoenix openers right now, I think, in most situations, you see a Stargate opener as a Zerg player, and you say, okay, well, I'm not going to bother going mutas. They're already good to go. But we have seen some players, not too many. We haven't actually, I bring this up. I haven't seen Bly in a while. I think he's on vacation or something right now, but I was going to reference him because we've seen him very decisively go, like, oh, you went for a Phoenix opener? Let me just show you the power of Corruptor and Muta, you know? Like, yeah. There are some players who really don't get too dissuaded by this. Others will decide to go massive Lings and Hydras. It's a good combination. It's a great combination. It works a lot, but yeah, not too many people really, really willing to go Spire into an already made Stargate opener.
It is supposed to be a deterrent, but you're right. Some people will just force the issue. And certainly, if there ever was a point in Legacy of the Void where like Spire in general became like the go-to meta again, because it's, you know, it's been at some point or another the go-to meta in a lot of matchups. Forcing Corruptor Muta is still like, that's still a good composition.
So I had to look, and yeah, Bly is on vacation. I was like, he hasn't been playing a lot of our stuff lately. It just dawned on me.
That's right.
He's in like Egypt or something crazy.
Yeah. I remember it was like, oh, only 4 days left of vacation or something like that.
And I would love to. I don't think, because, you know, we've had a great time going to a lot of events, and we usually try and turn that sort of into vacation. Like, oh, let's stay an extra day and check this out, right? I don't think I've ever in my life actually had like a straight up vacation though, where you go just for the point of like 3 days at the beach or relaxing or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know, to be honest, if I could do that, because like when we have a day off on the channel, I just don't know what to do with myself. Like, put me away from the internet on the beach for 3 days. I don't actually know that I would enjoy that. It's
okay. I don't do that much anymore either. Like, even when I go to Ocean City, it's usually like a Cascade Link in the morning.
Yeah, your family has like the beach house and all that. I forgot.
Yeah, or when I went to Korea, like, there wasn't a lot of lazing around in Korea. Like, I walked everywhere, and then I cast a couple of times. Like, to actually go somewhere for like a week and actually not touch a computer, that I don't think is
that sounds less like a vacation. That just sounds more like torture. Like, that's
like
how you
a camp that your parents send you to.
No,
so you stop being on the computer.
You're grounded. No internet until you do your homework.
Yeah, except it's no internet until you relax on the beach with a margarita.
Well, I'm gonna, like I said, this almost feels sarcastic, but I'm gonna go YouTuber mode on this just for a quick moment here. If you guys in chat, like, what do you guys do for vacations? What are your thoughts on like an ideal getaway type thing? I think for me, like, some of my favorite moments are when we go to an event and it's like chilling in the hotel room with friends, or in like the lobby of the hotel with people after drinks. Like, if there's some way to do that for 3 days, I think that's what I would go for.
Just that. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. The Phoenixes, by the way, we haven't had our eyes off of them. The cameras have been off them, and yes. It's worthwhile to note because they've basically been in this Zerg base the entire time, which is not ideal for the Zerg. Like, they might not be getting the most crazy drone kills ever, but they've been picking off everything that's coming out of the eggs. They've been forcing Matiz to get more Hydras than maybe he really wanted to. Now he's actually just going to go straight for like a Lurker Queen Nidus all in, I guess.
So, I mean, it's one way to get across the map without bleeding units out. That's kind of a cool idea. The problem I find with this, though, is it's very expensive and kind of puts you in that all-in territory. But what I'm kind of loving is that it might just be Lurkers popping out of it right away, because that Lurker Den did get made right away. So it's like, Nidus Worm, MaNa's like, okay, I'll deal with a little bit of damage. No surprise, it's Lurkers, and those are not so easy to deal with.
Yeah. The Lurkers, though, are kind of tricky. You know, they look amazing, same as siege tanks, you know, and you're like, oh my god, I got in the back of the mineral and let's do this. And sometimes it's actually, it works against you. I mean, you have to actually pick up and move the siege tanks, or in this case, you have to unburrow and move the Lurkers to the front lines. The SimCity can sometimes work out against the Zerg player who Nidus Wormed. So I actually prefer that he's going just for the reinforcement Nidus, shall we call it? It's like it's scouted. That sucks, but I think it's better than doing it in the main base. Some Lurkers do end up burrowing, and I don't see any detection.
No, and that's what's going to drive it back. But the two Lurkers that did burrow did their work, because if all four had not been burrowed, if all four had been crowd controlled, that wouldn't have actually pushed him back at all. But now we
Yeah.
got detection out. The Oracle's spitting out some revelations. Other side of the map, the Zealots are still killing a lot of drones. This was never taken care of. Hydra being a little bit lazy. What are you doing? Get in the fight! There we go.
That Nidus Storm once again dies, and while the Lurkers are doing a good enough job, like half of them are detected, or 3/4 of them are detected. There's just not a very big army, and MaNa doesn't want to risk, I guess, losing it. So he warps in a few more Zealots, however, and I think this is definitely a big enough army now. Actually, he could use the Disruptors first, to make it even easier. But there you go.
JD tosses rock climbing trips, snowboarding. A lot of really cool suggestions.
Yeah. I really want to get out to Nevada again and go rock climbing, bouldering.
We got a very interesting matchup coming up next, by the way. So Lily Canine won, but he's going to go AFK for like 5 to 8 minutes to get some food. And him versus MaNa would be a fun match, I think.
Yes, it would.
My thoughts on this, though, with what's available. If Penguin beats Raynor before Lily Canine's back, Penguin versus Sleep could be very fun. But also, on the top half of the bracket, Poppy Joe, very cheesy Protoss player versus Tefl, could also be quite good. So, we're going to hope we have something before Lily Canine and MaNa's ready. But we might also just take something that comes up sooner. Either way, we're going to pop off to a 2-minute commercial break, so do stick around, guys. And we'll be back in a minute or two.